Pick Up the Phone is a super high energy song. Pretty much this frantic desperation of trying to get this girl on the phone, and you've been calling her probably more than you should. Sort of like in what's that Vegas Baby Vegas movie?
I'm not sure.
Swingers.
Oh God.
Swingers,
Yeah.
where he calls her and leaves all the messages like
yeah.
way too many times, and it's super awkward. It's like that, basically, and something that you said when we were listening to all the mixes or all the demos rather, that we
gotta go off the handle.
Yeah. Let's really make this a frantic track.
Yeah.
Make it sound frantic.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I think we did that with that one.
Yeah. It's all about that vocal performance. You nailed it.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it is. We're not using a lot of vocal processing at all on this record, and that one particularly we used zero.
Like nothing. Yeah.
I gotta stop and remember what my mother said. It's in my blood.
In My Blood is a song sort of about that sort of coming to grips with like maybe last night I was a little nuts with all those phone calls, and it's sort of about leaning on your vices a little too hard, but we all have them, and it's kind of a little bit of a playful look at addiction, I guess, even though it's not a very playful topic.
Yeah, but like the chorus, I think we were talking about, let's make the chorus sound like a party.
Yeah, because in the moment,
it's fun.
I can't help myself.
Absolutely. Yeah.
But in the morning, I'm gonna feel like hell.
You're not gonna feel very good.
But I do it anyway. Cool. Those are the lyrics to the song right there.
Staring at us sideways like we're Benny and June. Yeah, we saw that.
And Benny and June was kind of a surprise track for me because while writing it, I didn't necessarily feel like it was gonna be a contender, and then I got the demo back, and I was, everyone just kind of lost it on the song.
It's a very good song.
Thanks. Like writing it, I'm a huge movie fan, a big movie geek, and Benny and June's a really interesting, cute story of two oddballs falling in love, and I being a bit of an oddball myself, I wanted to write a song from the perspective of two people in an insane asylum that fall in love with each other, and they have it figured out, and it's everyone else who's crazy.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, that could just be them being delusional as well. So we wanted to really get that like youthful, energetic attitude of like we know what, like we know who we are, we know what we need in this life, and
we don't need it.
And it's right here in front of me.
Yeah.
And it's not your cynicism, it's not your restrictions, it's this right here. It's like my YOLO song.
Damn. The synth sounds, like that, especially that one part when the crazy happens with the big swell. We try to do that, and the drums sort of are really loud and bombastic. Like when I was working on the mix the other day, Brad, my assistant, we soloed the drums, and we were like, kind of sounds like Nirvana. Like just the way the drums sound.
And the room, I mean.
I always wanna feel this way. I always wanna feel this way.
This one's total dream state. Like this is basically, you want that perfect moment in a relationship when like everything is awesome, like everything is just like perfect. It's that honeymoon stage.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? Like everything's charming, everything's fun, everything's exciting. Like you can stay up and talk all night.
Yeah.
Whereas like now it's like, I'll read a book, you watch Netflix, and like we won't really talk at all.
No, we won't talk, and there's none of that grabbing a boob.
Yeah.
That's off limits.
Those like boob grabs.
Yeah, not gonna happen. Absolutely. And then a little bit about the production in that one, which is cool, is that is so organic. Like I think our kick drum sound is us hitting trash cans.
Yeah, we that's where all the money went, really.
Yeah. Thank you, Equal Vision. We got the nicest trash cans we could.
Yeah, and we just banged on them, slapped them silly.
Yeah, we used a big big classic one for our kick drum, and we sampled that, basically recorded it, and then we got the metal ones and used that for
and
part of our
snare.
Yeah, and part of our snare sound is us hitting trash cans and hand claps and stomping on the ground.
Yeah. The backbone, rather, of that song is that that vibe and that groove, and I wanted to sustain it throughout the whole song, to have that thing as the theme of the song. Because in certain songs we're changing atmospheres, and in this one we are in this state,
and it rides
and that's what it is. Because I'm in the lyric I'm talking about whether or not you're in a dream. If this is a dream, you don't want to wake up because you want to constantly be here hanging on a honeymoon. So we made that work with the
and
production.
Like you said, it's a fun song, and what's more fun than beating on trash cans? Actually, there probably is something. We should redo that song.
Am I awake or am I dreaming? Let's put the moon to bed.
Yeah, but Turn on the Light is very much like a whimsical love song. I mean, it's about wanting to be with someone and wanting to find them. Even when it seems like they've gone missing from your life, whether that be physically or emotionally. If you're with someone in a relationship, you can be right next to them and they can be off somewhere else or just disconnected from you. And this song is about finding that beacon. Is about
which is a great example.
Yeah.
When we sort of actually use that as an influence in the production, is we try to create a beacon, this little thing that beeps in the background.
Yeah, it's sort of like sonar that like draws you to it, and in the chorus, that song is very.
It's awesome. I mean, it's like what we kept talking about, like the atmosphere is right. Like it puts you in the headspace. Like if you're looking for that feeling, it's all there. The lyric is there. I feel like the atmosphere is there. Like turn on the light.
Get some rest. It's a winding road that stretches toward the truth.
One of my personal favorites on the record, and I know it's hard to pick a favorite, but By Your Side is one of my favorite ones. I think it just emotionally, I think that song just takes you someplace, and is just really sincere. And I had just like it was emotional just singing. Every time I sing it, I feel exactly the way I felt when I wrote it. So that's a good sign, I think. You know.
And sort of a production element is we had his vocals reamped into an echo chamber, and that echo chamber is basically just reverb the whole time, because he's giving out this thing, and it's like I sort of envisioned him like at the top of this mountain, I'm by your side, so it's like echoing for days and just.
And we're not doing harmonies on the song.
No,
it's just like
just
it is the one performance.
Yeah.
Because it's supposed. It's like
that's the one you did in one take too, right?
Yeah, I think it was one of them.
That was
one of them.
Yeah, he just nailed it.
Which
and then of course I changed everything and made it good. But
Give me something to take, 'cause I'm about to break.
So Caught in the Middle is pretty much about feeling like you're stuck. You're caught.
Would you say caught in the middle?
Yeah, I mean, I guess it's about feeling caught in the middle.
Wow.
Like caught in the middle of your life, caught in the middle of a relationship that you feel like is just like a constant struggle and constant lack of communication, and even when you have a bad day and you come home, or you pick up the phone and make that phone call and like try and have a conversation, and it's just that there's that like so detached, it's just that detachment that can make you feel pretty like hopeless in that situation. And so that's
kind of basing off that, like the arrangement of the song originally in the demo had more of an arc, like up and down, up and down. We were talking about it, and by the end of it is like it should be like kind of like you're fed up, and it's not like this arc of up and down. It's just like keeps growing and growing and growing.
Yeah, and it starts very, very
tiny.
It's like a vocal and some ambience.
Yeah, and I think one of the images we used is wind machine. by the end of the song.
Yeah.
Of course.
Production-wise.
Yeah, production.
You kind of are a wind machine over there.
I'm
with that,
Spielberging it up today. That's all I gotta say.
Yeah.
The beard, scarf, jacket. I gotta go make a movie.
But you also kind of look like that guy from Hung.
I do.
Thomas
I get
Jane.
that might not be a bad thing.
It's not a bad thing. Thomas Jane's a hunk.
What does that say about me? I'm like the retarded version of him.
We laid in bed and talked till 3 a.m. Now I'm restlessly counting.
It sounds very, pretty. I feel, but at the same time, the subject matter isn't, which is one of those juxtaposition things because it's all about everything that you.
I think it sounds sentimental.
Sentimental, lyrically, it's about loss, absence. It's about what you used to have that you don't have anymore. We used to do like really fun things to get. Not you and I, but
No, but I'm along for the ride. Keep going.
Sure.
Yeah.
Like we used to do, all these small things that meant so much, and now, it's like everything's fizzled out, and it's about not wanting to like get too far from those moments of like the little things mattering, the little things being what makes you stay in love. It makes you fall in love in the in the first place. So it's all about wanting that back and needing that back, and almost like like a plea to keep pushing for it. And I feel like production-wise, it made sense to just embrace what the song needed.
Yeah, it doesn't. We don't dress it up with more than one. Yeah, it's just honest and guitar. I think a kick and a hi-hat and bass or something.
Yeah.
Like super. Just tell the story. That's what it's about.
Exactly.
Connecting with the listener. I hope.
Me too.
So stop waiting, starts taking control.
I wrote this song in Nashville with a really cool and talented dude named Zach Malloy, and we wrote this a while ago, but it's always been one of those songs where I felt like it had so much potential, but production-wise, I mean, the demo that we made, I felt like it was kind of dated sounding. I mean, perhaps you can, because it was really my need for this thing to not be stock, and your vision for what you were hearing with it. That combination is what created this monster track.
What the song was missing was it felt kind of like
safe. It felt safe.
Safe, easy, like that. Oh yeah, that's what you're supposed to do in that song. And the song's called Time for Sign. Like it needs to be more than what is safe. It needs to have an atmosphere about it. It needs to have like a headspace.
It needs to be the opposite of safe. Because it's, it's not a sign of the times. It's time for a sign. So it has to be something that's like breakthrough, at least to the point of like anti-ballad. Because it's like like ballady. I guess it's
polite. It was polite.
It was polite. That's the perfect way to put it. It was polite.
And I think now we made it crush harder. And it's like, I remember we were talking about it, like a lot of hardcore bands do that stuff, and we were like, well, let's try to do this idea in a new way.
Sure, yeah.
Like that's super slow, just big, epic sounding, but you don't have to have these huge chuggies underneath it. You can do it in other ways, and I think that's sort of where we were pushing ourselves. Is
the instrumentation.
Yeah, the instrumentation and how it's presented to the listener.
There's a million people just like me, but there's no one I dare compare.
At this point, I really wanted to illustrate a song of like that feeling that there is hope, and that you're gonna go through tough things, but then you need to just realize the good things that are there, and whether that's just in your everyday life period or in a relationship. And that song's all about realizing those awesome things, those like charming, those things that attract you.
The quirks.
Yeah, the quirks, the things that made you fall in love in the first place, and now you're living them all through it, and it's like that. It's when you it's when you feel like you're the average one, and like this is just like some unicorn that came out of the sky to grace your presence.
I love what you just said.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's A Million People. That's what A Million People's about.
Yeah.
Overall, this record is about the ups and downs. It's about perseverance. It's about being honest with yourself. It's genuine and counterfeit because so much of our day can you know, like those things that seem genuine could be smoke screens, as well as things that could feel veiled. Could, you know, there's genuine emotion and a genuine experience beneath it. So it's all about walking that line and trying to figure out which side of the scale you're on at that point in time.
Yeah, it's a good record. I like it.
Me too. I like it too.
Good.
And I think you're gonna like it as well.
Absolutely.
We know who we are now, so just leave us alone. Just leave us alone. When I met you from the voices in my head, it felt like a reaction from all the meds. Now I don't